on that stream, boy.
And
all right, it seems to work.
Excellent.
Let me open up the stream actually so I can see what people are saying in the chat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this official
It's official.
YouTube channel, Nintendo E3 prediction stream. We are joined today by Rogersbase and Stealth from Twitter and from a bunch of other places you may know. And we'll be discussing for the next hour or so a bunch of Nintendo E3 2018 announcements, ranging from obvious stuff like Super Smash Brothers to more obscure stuff or stuff we don't know. But
wait, Smash Bros is coming? Well, time out. This is news to me. Hold on.
Okay, so let's avoid those type of joking, because what we are doing is essentially...
Oh my god, have some fun.
We are recording...
I know, I was going to say this is E3 time, man.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to stick up your butt right now,
We
man.
are recording for a video right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand that.
Have some fun. Loosen up. Have a drink or two.
It's E3 time, my dude. Apparently, you could drink Etika under the table, too. So, Commonwealth, lighten up a bit.
Well, I'm half Polish. It would be a shame if I couldn't.
I'm Polish, too. Are you kidding?
You
Polish,
are?
Russian, and Italian. I am.
Oh, my God. That's insane. So we
now you know.
We got a scoop. Okay.
There you go. The more you know.
So
Hot E3 scoop.
The way this will be going is that we'll be going game by game. So that way it will be much easier to just state to one topic, and then we'll be just going on, starting with Smash. So let's start with Super Smash Brothers then, and Super Smash Bros. Will obviously be the big poster boy of this E3. We know that probably the booth will be inspired heavily by the game. We know that we have the Super Smash Bros. Invitational with some of the best Smash players out there, both when it comes to the Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. 4, including defending champ Zero. And of course, the treehouse will be totally dominated by Super Smash Bros. So what do we expect from Super Smash Bros. Switch, beginning from the video presentation?
Okay. First and foremost, I think we're getting an exact release date for Super Smash Brothers here. I think it's going to be September 21st, because I was looking at the different Fridays in September, and that one seemed to make the most sense. I think the launch date for Super Smash Brothers is going to be the exact same launch day as the online service. And I think that the game is going to have a subtitle. I don't think it's just going to be called Smash for Switch. I feel pretty strongly that it's going to be something more along the lines of Melee or Brawl, whether that's like Rumble or Clash or whatever they're going to call it. But I have a feeling it's going to have a subtitle. Suggestion. Armageddon would be pretty cool, actually. Smash Bros. Armageddon would be pretty sick.
Starring Bruce Willis.
I like it. I'm down. I'm down for it.
Awesome. I've been having this sort of, anytime anyone tells me September is the Smash Bros. Release date, I think that's a little too optimistic. Yeah, it makes sense for it to launch with Switch Online, but at the same time, Nintendo's not made good decisions with their online service, and I don't see this being an exception. I think Smash Bros. Is going to launch closer to November. In October, I have a bet with one of our Patreon supporters about that. Everyone thinks it's coming out September, but I like going against the grain and thinking it's probably going to be October. I know it's not going to be November now that Pokemon Let's Go is coming out during then, but I don't think Nintendo is smart enough to think, oh, hey, if we launch Smash Bros. And Nintendo Switch Online the same day, we reap all the rewards. I don't think so, because I think no matter what, people are going to buy Switch Online anyway, just knowing Smash is coming in general. So
I could somewhat buy what you're saying if they want to test the online service. I could see it being where they put Smash Brothers in October and basically launch it in September and work out the bugs before Smash actually comes out. And if that's the case, then I think their September game is going to be Yoshi and the October game would be Smash. But I think in my predictions, I think Smash is September and Yoshi's October.
You know what? The sooner the better. You know what I mean?
I personally think that we'll see Yoshi in August, Smash in September, Fire Emblem in October, and Pokemon in November. That's how I see, and then we'll have an E3 announcement for the game in December. That's how I see it.
I would like to see Smash in September. I'm just not sure if it's going to make it, because I just have this feeling like Sakurai is going to work on this game to the last second, and it's not going to go gold until like late September. So I can see it taking like the Odyssey the Odyssey time space in October. I think that launched like October 16th or something. But I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still thinking of November 16th from the Pokemon reveal.
But
yeah, I can see it launching in October. Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as it launches before Black Friday. They're gonna rake in the money. It really doesn't matter at this point. But during the presentation, I actually think we're gonna see like more of the initial roster than like any of the other first reveals.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, I can see like the presentation itself being 60 minutes, 30 minutes being for Smash Brothers, and then like the rapid fire direct style for like 30 minutes.
That would be so cool. Oh my god!
My guess is going to be 30 minutes for the direct overall, and I think we're going to have 15 on Smash, and everything else is going to be pulled out through the Treehouse Live.
Exactly. I think
I agree with you that we're going to see a bunch of characters in this initial unveiling, because this is the first time that Smash has been announced, shown off at E3, and released in the same year since Melee. This has not happened before. Brawl and Smash 4, the development cycle of those were spanning like 3 or 4 E3s, I think. Or no, it was 2 or 3 E3s, I should say. And so each E3 we got with Smash Wii U, we had like Villager and Wii Fit Trainer and Mega Man at the first one, and then we had Palutena, Pac-Man, and Mies at the second one. And I have a feeling that we'll probably get like 6 newcomers, like 5 or 6 newcomers during this entire thing, whether that includes like veteran characters like Ice Climbers and Wolf who are coming back, counted as newcomers, but whatever. I think we're going to get 6 characters that were not in Smash for Wii U at minimum during this blowout at E3.
However long the direct is, Smash Brothers is going to be half of it.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be, because we have absolutely no information. We just got the announcement. It's a new game. We have Breath of the Wild Link, most possibly Super Mario Odyssey with Cappy, and of course Inkling Boy and Girl. And outside of that, no new characters have been revealed. So it's typical that in the reveal trailer you usually announce 2 to 3 new characters, depending on like Wii U had I think 2. You had Villager and you had Mega Man, and in Brawl you had 3. You had Pit, Wario, and
you had Snake, and you had Zero Suit Samus as well. So you actually had 4.
So that was 5.
So
there were 5.
Yeah,
it was Meta Knight, Pit, Zero Suit Samus, Wario, and Snake. And I think something similar to that could happen, but I think even in addition to that, we'll probably get another trailer that's shown off during the Invitational, or maybe later in the week during the Treehouse segments. Well, but I think they're saving a character trailer for the Invitational. I
agree. How Street Fighter always works is every tournament at the very end, there's a trailer, and that just happened, I think, for Combo Breaker, or I'm not sure the exact name, but like Cody was revealed at the very end, and I'm pretty sure that they've been watching that, and there's going to be like probably like the biggest character reveal is going to be at the end of the tournament.
I agree.
And during the Treehouse, like Smash isn't going to get just one segment in the Treehouse. It's going to get probably one in the first day, another in the second day, and then another in the third day, and I can see a character reveal each day. And so it's not like they have to do it all in the direct. It's just they know that if they reveal one character, they have people in the palms of their hands.
Right.
E3's long.
Was revealed.
But I think unlike previous Smash games, we will actually have surprise characters this time around when the game launches. So I think we'll just get a set of characters, just like you said, Roger. 6 maybe newcomers, and I think those will include Rex, and with a combination of Pyra and Mythra, depending on the moveset, obviously. I think,
love that.
I think we could see an ARMS character, because they want to promote that IP even more.
And even though like Sakurai was probably finalizing this roster a year ago, like he can ask like the internal teams like what they're up to. So like some people think like they might be like timed out, but I really don't think so.
That's possible. That's possible. What other characters, Roger, do you think will be revealed?
I'm feeling Ridley, man. I really am. I've always been #keep dreaming in terms of Ridley. I've always thought that he's been too big. But after playing Samus Returns and seeing that Metroid Prime is coming out, I've talked about this on Japan Time. I talked about this on the prediction discussion I did with Josh. I'm going to bring it up again here. I think, and this is kind of going into another prediction, I think we're going to get a Metroid trailer at this E3, but I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be playable. I think it's going to be a CG trailer, and people are going to be like, oh, we're actually seeing Metroid, and we're going to see Samus and Ridley in it, and then somehow in that trailer, you're going to see it's actually a Smash trailer. That's my guess. That's how I think they're going to do it. Because I think people expect to see Metroid at this point, but at the same time, I feel like if they're going to do something similar to what they did with the Inklings, where you thought it was like a Splatoon trailer and then it starts off and it's Smash Brothers, I could see them pulling that off with Metroid because I don't think it would make sense for any of the other franchises. So I think if they're going to pull that again, it'll be with Metroid and it'll be with Ridley. That's my guess.
Because then you got people freaking out, oh, hey, it's a Metroid Prime 4 trailer, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's Smash, and now you got the best of both worlds. Baby.
That would be the biggest trailer of E3. The biggest moment.
I don't think that would be the trailer that's at the Invitational. I think the Invitational is going to be like a big, shocking third-party character.
Yeah.
Like Crash.
Like Ridley will be what everyone's talking about.
Someone like Banjo-Kazooie or Crash or Steve from Minecraft or something, the Fortnite guy, I don't know, like some wild thing nobody's expecting. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, I definitely see those new characters. I think we'll also get Breath of the Wild Zelda confirmed during the trailer.
Well, I think all the Zelda characters are going to get like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like I see the trailer going out. Like you see Breath of the Wild Link, and then Zelda comes in, and boom.
Yeah,
I can
Zelda
see them
wakes
doing
up
something,
after 100 years or whatever.
I could see them doing something where it picks up where the last trailer left off too, and the silhouettes all brighten up, and you see the characters that were there, that were silhouettes in the first trailer. Because those are all based on the analysis videos that people have done. Those are all characters that have been in Smash games before, and they're characters that we expect to see again. It's like Pit, Marth, Bowser, Fox, Captain Falcon, and even the Zelda that was in that. A lot of people were saying, well, it could be Breath of the Wild Zelda. So I do think they might actually do that and show off all those veterans first, and then end up showing off all the newcomers. But I think this demo is going to be pretty hefty. Because if I remember correctly, the Smash 4 demo had like 15 to 18 characters in it when it was at E3.
So I think it had 15 characters.
15, so there you go. Yeah. I think this one will probably have like 20.
And it was like half newcomers, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Ganondorf looks the exact same because he wasn't in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but
I really hope
do a new model for him.
Yeah, I really hope
really
to go
feel
for
like
Hyrule
that this
Warriors
time.
one.
The Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf, that would be so.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I would love to see Hyrule Warriors. Or cut Ganondorf altogether, throw Ganon in there, bring back transforming characters, have him turn into Ganon. That'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be tough, but it could be done. Sakurai's ambitious.
And like the one character, like I think is a shoe-in is Ice Climbers. I sure think Ice Climbers. That might be like I imagine his trailer like it cuts to like all the like old timey characters like Mario and everyone else, and then like Ice Climbers kind of like jumps back in. I see a trailer kind of like that, but I think for sure Ice Climbers is back.
Yeah, I think Ice Climbers will actually be one of the first characters we see too.
Yeah,
because I think when we get that, I think the Direct is going to open with Smash and end with Smash, and then we're still going to get a trailer in the Invitational. I think there's going to be a lot of Smash in this.
Yeah,
but I think one of the first characters that we end up seeing is actually going to be Ice Climbers, and then I actually think Ice Climbers will be playable at the Invitational. I think somebody is going to pick and play Ice Climbers during the Invitational.
Yeah, and the other characters will obviously be Mario with Cappy because they want to show off these Switch Nintendo characters like Breath of the Wild Link, Breath of the Wild Zelda.
I can see them like replacing like the Flood finally with Cappy.
I agree.
Yeah, Flood is just dumb.
Definitely,
it really is.
Game Explain mentioned that he could be the grab, the new grab move.
That'd be great. I would love that.
Exactly.
It would be great. Yeah. And
I'm gonna make a very. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I'm curious about GameCube controller support. I think what's going to happen is of course, the Wii U adapter is going to be compatible with the Switch, and they'll release a new GameCube adapter with the Switch branding on it, and they're going to release Pro controllers that look like GameCube controllers.
Joey is reading my mind. I literally was just going to say that. The next thing on my list is GameCube Pro controller announced during E3. I completely agree because there was that firmware update where you can actually use the GameCube controller adapter with the Wii U. So I think they're probably going to what's that called? Like when they remanufacture that stuff. Reissue, whatever. The GameCube controller adapter. You remanufacture whatever. They're going to remanufacture the GameCube controller adapter and the GameCube controllers, but I think there's going to be a Smash branded Pro controller, like a wireless one that gets announced too. That's a sure thing. I mean, if they did a controller for Xenoblade 2,
for sure they're gonna do one for Smash Brothers. There's gonna be like a branded system.
One right here. I love it.
Yeah. Oh,
I love it.
So good.
With the Smash Ball, that would be awesome.
With the Smash logo on the side. Yeah.
Imagine if this was black and red and you have the Smash cross on it.
Yeah, and I'm imagining like the dock with the Switch with like the Smash logo.
Nice.
Exactly.
So nice.
And full of flames as well. So, but the big question is single player, because single player was a big letdown in Super Smash Bros. 4.
Yes.
And we got Smash Tour and so on, and you had Smash Run on the 3DS. But overall, it was a big downgrade from Brawl and even Melee. So, will we see a return of an adventure mode? And I could definitely see this, if it's confirmed, being a very heavy focus in one of the 2 trailers that you suggested, Roger.
Well, I think we brought this up on Japan Time 2 nights ago, too, when we were talking about our predictions with Smash Brothers. I think if they're going to do a hefty single-player mode, I could see them doing something where it's episodic. So basically, like the first episode of the single-player mode comes with the game when it first launches, and then the rest of the story plays out as free DLC over the course of months and even years, because that way they can incorporate the DLC characters, because we're going to eventually get DLC for this game. That way they can incorporate the DLC characters into the story, and then once they're kind of done giving us new content with Smash Brothers, at the end of it, they could create like a final episode where all the characters come together and take out Taboo or Master Hand or Hades or whoever's going to be the head of like the main villain of this next game. But I really do strongly believe that if we get something like Subspace, the entire game is not going to be there day one. I think it's going to be something episodic. But if we don't get a Subspace-related thing and we get something like Adventure Mode, I think that will be there day and date.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good thing. I never thought about that. That's really cool. And because this game has a short gap between 4 and Switch, so it kind of makes sense. Like a Subspace Emissary was very ambitious, and as a result, we waited like 7 years for that game. And granted, Sakurai was working on other stuff, but still. And I just really do want a Subspace Emissary 2 with those amazing cutscenes. But I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen at the same time. But still, bring back Adventure Mode in some way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think they will bring some sort of single-player campaign. It might not be as ambitious as Subspace Emissary, but something I think in between Subspace and the Adventure Mode found in Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's where I see this ending up, because I feel this will be a smash of compromises, because they want to show that Smash 4 wasn't the ultimate Smash experience, because it was in many ways kept back because of the 3DS version. Mm-hmm. And now they can do whatever they want. So I think there will be a very heavy emphasis on this, either at E3 or through those fact extravaganzas that they did with Super Smash Bros. for Wii U later this fall. So another big thing that we also brought up in the beginning while discussing about Smash is that it might launch with the Nintendo Switch paid online service. And then one very important thing then is that they need to improve the online in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, exactly. Because, man, playing Smash Bros. Online, Smash 4, was just a drag. Like, I don't even know if that wireless adapter, wired adapter would have helped me anyway, because it was just the frame rate was chugging badly and everything. So if they make Smash Switch just like the game to use Nintendo Switch Online with, and it actually works... Yeah, that's it. It's the end. There you go. But at the same time, I see Nintendo Switch Online trying to be sold with another game, which we'll talk about later down the line.
Cool.
Exactly, and that's why if improved online is a very heavy emphasis in this game, I see it's coming with the launch day of the paid Switch Online service, because they want to push subscriptions, they want to push copies of Smash, so just combine the two and sell as much as possible. Okay, I think that sums up pretty much Smash, except for the fact that we'll get much better menus this time around, hopefully.
Please!
Than in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, because that thing was atrocious and completely out of place in many of the sub-menus especially, because you didn't know where to go and so on.
I still don't know where to go in that damn thing. Like, really.
I do really hope they bring back the cool, like, dark color schemes of the Melee and the Smash 64 menus. So I'm hoping we see something like that.
Totally.
But yeah, it's weird that excited about the UI of this game. Like I'm just as excited to see what the menus look like in the demo of this as I am to see some of the new characters. And I know that's very bizarre, but I truly feel that way. So
I think that will definitely happen, especially with the whole dark theme and very serious theme of the reveal trailer. I definitely see that also as a part of the menu with flames and like Armageddon almost, as it was mentioned previously. Okay, before we move over to the next game, though, I see we got 2 donations, and one of them is from Falcon Black, MG Toe. He donated 2 British pound sterlings. King of Hyrule playable with all champion powers.
That'd be something, you know? And like I said, Duck Hunt Dog was in the last Smash game, so anything's possible, really.
I feel like with the champion powers, those will probably be relegated to Zelda. Because Din's Fire and Pharaoh's Wind and all that stuff, those were the Ocarina of Time special magic moves. So I kind of feel like the champion moves will be the new Breath of the Wild Zelda's special moves. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I would love it if like one of the champions got in, because those are just awesomely designed characters. But man, I feel assuming they don't, then like all their champion moves should be Zelda's.
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like if you have one champion, you should have them all. But you know, how many Fire Emblem characters do we have? So just let it happen. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and we also had one of your people, Roger, donating. That was also, I think that was $5 or something. And he said, "Cheers from the Mammoth Boys."
Nice, very nice. So thank you for coming through, Mammoth Boys. Thank you. Wait, we're not moving away from Smash though yet, because there are 2 other things I want to talk about. Okay. One, I think we're getting new amiibo. I think we're going to see new amiibo at this E3 for Smash Brothers. I don't necessarily think it's going to be an entirely new Smash Brothers amiibo set, but I think we are going to see new characters done in the Smash amiibo line that will be re-released for like the newcomers and for the veteran characters coming back, like Ice Climbers. Yeah, so that's one thing. I think we're getting new amiibo.
I definitely see that happening, because if we look at the Breath of the Wild amiibo set, yes, Zelda has a proper amiibo, but Link is pretty much either just firing off his arrow or on horseback, and if we look at Mario, he's in his wedding suit. So they need a Mario throwing Cappy amiibo, and they need a Link with, the Master Sword, I guess.
But I don't think they're going to make such a big deal of it as they did in the last game. Like, I don't think there's going to be like modes surrounding it. I think it's just going to be like a cool, like you get a little thing in the game. I don't think it's going to be a huge focus.
Well, I think they'll probably bring back the thing where you could train with your amiibo, but I don't think there's going to be any mode. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'll be anything past that. And the other thing I was going to bring up, this is a very specific prediction, but it's something I feel very strongly about, is I think one of the stages that gets shown off during the Invitational is going to be a big Splatoon stage, and they're going to make a big deal about it because the Splatoon tournament is happening at the same time as the Smash Brothers Invitational. It's happening right beforehand during the same day. And I have a feeling they're going to want to show off a Splatoon stage since we already know that the Inklings are going to be in the game too. So whether it's like Inkopolis or they end up taking one of the Splatoon maps and turning it into a stage, I think we are going to get a Splatoon stage and we're going to actually see it in the demo and at the Invitational.
And my bigger prediction is for this is for the first time when they release the E3 demo, that's going to be downloadable on anyone's Switch.
I'm going to disagree with you. I
don't think that will happen. No.
Yeah, I think we're getting a test punch in like August. That's my guess. I think we're going to get a test punch that has like 4 characters in it, and it's going to be in August.
It's possible, but for just hype's sake, they're just going to release it after the.
That'd be wild if they did that. Yeah. That would be wild. But then there would be no reason for people to get their tickets at E3 to play the game once if the demo is available on Switch. Like, I just wouldn't go back to E3. If it was available after E3, I would just sit there and play the demo.
They released the Smash for 3DS demo later on, shortly before the release. So maybe closer to the launch, I could see a demo happening. But I agree with Roger. It should be test Smash, test Punch, whatever they're going to call it.
Because they've been doing that for everything. I mean, they did it for Mario Tennis just recently, and Sushi Strikers, they had a demo that went out. There's the test Fire for Splatoon, the test Punch that happened for ARMS. So it seems like a natural fit that they would do that for Smash Brothers.
The way I think think this will happen is pretty much the same as it was for Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, and that is that you will only be able probably to play the demo at Nintendo New York outside of the E3 booth. That's how I see it, because they just want to keep the exclusivity of it. Now that E3 is a public event, there's no point spreading it out to other places, because E3 is a place you show off stuff. It's not eventually a place where you share out demos. So
that's true.
That's the point I see, because as long as E3 was just a press event, it was reasonable to give out a demo. But at this point, when it's a public event, people actually pay big money to play these games first and in advance of everyone else. So I think the ESA has also a saying here when it comes to which demos are playable and where.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one last question for everybody. Do we think that Sakurai is going to show up at the end of the tournament or at the beginning?
He's going to be there the whole show.
He's
always there the whole show, because he was there the Invitational that they did a couple of years ago, and he was there the entire week. He was there for Kid Icarus Uprising, because I met him at the last Invitational and at the E3 where he was there for Kid Icarus. Mm-hmm. And he's like known for walking around the show floor and taking pictures with people and stuff. So I think he'll for sure. Yeah. He's usually there.
I'm excited now. I'm gonna find him.
Yeah, like Joseph has to show this. Okay, we can. It was supposed to be a secret, but now this is our official prediction video, and it will be unlisted afterwards. So, Joseph, do you have that wooden carving of the Smash Ball?
It's downstairs. I'm not gonna get it.
Nice.
Come on, Joey. We can wait a second.
Oh my God, dude! I gotta go to work in like an hour.
Yeah,
no, let's get through the other predictions. Don't spoil.
Okay, we can end it. We can end it with it. Okay. Anyways, do we have anything else to mention in terms of Smash?
Bring my boys Crash, Rayman, Doom Guy. Let it happen. Doom Guy's not going to happen. I've accepted
Crash.
That, but, you know.
I feel Crash could happen if we get another trailer.
He would be like the first American-made character in Smash.
I don't want Crash. I don't want Rayman. Put the Rabbids in there instead of Rayman. I don't want
Crash. No, not the Rabbids. I think the
Rabbids have a better shot than Rayman does. I truly believe that. I do.
We shall see.
I honestly don't think any Western character has a shot, but we'll see.
This is turning into flame war. I won't even talk about the possibility of Spyro instead of Ridley, because that will piss off Roger. So
that's not going to piss me off. That's fine. I wouldn't care. I wasn't even Team Ridley until a couple of months ago, and then I was like, I guess it could happen, and I think it'd be really cool. I'd freak out, but I'm not going to be upset if he's not in it. I just really want Rex and Pyra. I want Rex and Pyra really badly, and I've already sort of resigned myself to the fact they're probably not going to be in the base roster, but everybody wants them, so they seem like a lock for DLC. So I'm okay with it. That's fine.
Now over to two games that were revealed or actually one of them was revealed long before E3. So we'll begin with that one, Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch. And that is a huge thing, because it's just like Pokemon. It's going from handheld back to console, and this time they have to do it right, because last time it didn't sell that well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it sold great.
It sold incredible well.
Yeah.
No, I mean Path of Radiance and
Radiant Dawn.
But to be fair, in those eras, Fire Emblem didn't sell well. Period.
It wasn't as big.
Like, it wasn't even a console thing. Now it's huge. Like, you've got the whole anime waifu audience now with Awakening and Fates, and even something like the Echoes game that just recently came out did really well. And that's a game based on like an NES game
and
that doesn't even play like regular
money hand over fist.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I have not put a single dime into Pokemon Go, but I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't pay at least $20 to get orbs during New Year's to get Camilla. So
I think Fire Emblem,
especially with the holiday season coming in now, so we'll see some nice swimming suits.
I see that game. I see Fire Emblem for Switch possibly being a December game like Xenoblade was. Or I could see it getting pushed to early 2019, but either way, it's still listed.
It's still listed as 2018, as late as the financial briefing, and that was in late August. So.
The financial briefing that just happened like 3 weeks ago, where Mishima stepped down, it was confirmed during that briefing, Yoshi, Fire Emblem, and Smash are all 2018. And then Pokemon was the one that said TBA 2018 or later. And Pokemon's now been confirmed for November. So if Pokemon's coming this year, Fire Emblem's coming this year.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a similar situation to like Xenoblade, I feel like, right? Because we all thought Xenoblade, there was no way it was going to make last year, and then it ended up making last year, and I think it's going to be the same thing for this.
So what kind of presence do you think we'll see from Fire Emblem at E3? Because the video presentation will obviously bring a trailer, they need to do it, and with the release date, but do you think we'll see a playable demo at the show floor?
Yes.
I don't know if it'll be playable. I'm for sure they're going to show it because the intelligence systems is like 3 or 4 teams. They have a Fire Emblem team, they have a Paper Mario team, and they have like a WarioWare team. The Fire Emblem team has probably been working on this since and even before Echoes released on 3DS, and that was a few years ago now. So like this game is ready, and I mean I don't think people believe that Xenoblade 2 is coming because the last 2 games got delayed, but Fire Emblem really doesn't have a history of that, so I don't think there's any chance that it gets delayed. I do think it'll launch in December because I don't think there's going to be a January game because usually like Nintendo's year like starts in February. So I could also see it having like multiple versions. Because that worked because Fire Emblem Fates sold like the most of any Fire Emblem game in Japan, specifically because of the two versions system. Yeah. So I can see that as well. Like I can see them going all out, like system bundle, controller. I can see them doing the whole thing.
Yeah. In fact, I have written down on here that I think we're getting purple and gold Fire Emblem controllers. Yeah. Because there was that Fire Emblem Mutiny leak that came out a long time ago that turned out to be fake. But Lord Almighty, I heard that and I was like, that is so amazing. Royal colors for Fire Emblem. They need to do that. So I'm just going to say it, even though I don't actually expect it to happen. I do expect that we're going to get Fire Emblem Joy-Cons, but I'm just going to predict it's going to be purple and gold.
Oh yeah, we need gold controllers for the Joy-Cons.
One other thing about Fire Emblem that I think is really important is if you remember when they first announced this Fire Emblem game, they said that they wanted to find new ways for you to interact with your favorite characters. And what that says to me is this is going to have some type of waifu system similar to the stuff that actually got taken out of the DS Fire Emblem games recently, like where you could pet people and touch them and go on dates with them and stuff. I genuinely feel like that's going to be in this game, and they're going to keep it in this game. Nintendo's been very cool with their waifus recently, with Pyra and Mithra and Xenoblade and Twintel and ARMS and even Zelda and Breath of the Wild. And so I think they're probably going to keep that kind of stuff in there this time around. And I also have a prediction that we're probably going to get an anime girl with giant boobs and that she'll be in Smash Brothers.
That's not a prediction. That's an inevitability.
Far-fetched.
I don't know.
Okay, we never know. Nintendo during the Switch era is a completely different Nintendo than the Wii U era. And we see the heavy emphasis on waifus. Like Zelda was sexualized. Zelda. For the this must be
not as much as. Not as much as
yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Twintel's the best. I mean, how could you top Twintel? She's great.
The one thing I will say is this game is going to be very, very, very traditional. Like, people always saying, oh, well, we want Pokemon to be open world MMO. We want, Zelda was very different. Mario was very different. No. Fire Emblem needs to be a hardcore strategy RPG with cutscenes and all of that. But, like, the gameplay, it's going to be Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I agree.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering about the graphics. Will it look like an upscaled 3DS game?
Well, I don't think so, because like the last thing we actually heard about this game was an interview with like the producer of the series, and he said like he wants it to be like a graphical showcase.
Nice,
like,
cool.
Yeah, so
I hope though, even if they do that, I hope we still get like the anime portraits of the characters and stuff, because I actually think that's a really nice look that has now become associated with Fire Emblem, and I think because of the success of Heroes and Fates and even Warriors and Awakening, they're probably not going to take that part out of it. So,
of course.
The
what were you saying, Conrad?
Like the way I see this happening is that it will definitely not go the same route as Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee when it comes to the graphical capabilities. I think they will go all out and try to create a rather PC inspired layout because Fire Emblem at the end of the day is a strategy combat game, and I feel like they will go all the way to make it really take advantage of the Switch hardware, because the jump from the 3DS to the Switch is just humongous.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm typing in the chat. Metroid is not coming out this year. Hold on. Okay,
Retro's not going to come out this year. That's fact.
So,
oh wow.
No,
even if that game was done, I wouldn't release it this year with everything else coming.
Exactly.
True.
Like the way I see this Fire Emblem game, I think it will have heavy emphasis on waifus and the marriage system and player interaction with their favorite character, whether it's male or female. I think they will go that way. And I feel that we'll get a release date. It could be a December game, but I personally feel like it could be an October game. So you get it before Pokemon, because we all know what will happen when Pokemon comes out. Especially
Smash is the October game, so...
no, I think it's
I'm not sure I agree with that, because when Mario Odyssey came out, like, it raised the tide of all the other ships, so, like, sales for every other game went up. So, like, things released, like, you actually maybe want to release something after Pokemon, because that's when, like, 10 million Switches are going to sell after Pokemon comes out.
That's true.
I mean, I think we all agree, though, the big 4 games they're showing off at this E3 are Smash, Yoshi, Pokemon, and Fire Emblem. I think that's a given. There's no, like, I don't even get to question at this point. I think those 4 are, like, their big holiday games. Those are the things we know about. And I think if we end up getting, like, other new game announcements here, it'll be smaller franchises. And I'm sure we'll get into that in a little bit. But I think the other games beyond those big 4 are going to either be smaller franchises that you're not really expecting, or third-party games to sort of fill out the calendar, or even some cool like indie games, and maybe some DLC or two for a couple big.
I mean, I'm fully expecting, like, right after Smash, they go right into Fire Emblem, like, because that's like a huge game.
Yeah, and then just reveal the character for Smash as well from Fire Emblem. Like, this could be a very cool way of also announcing stuff or characters for Super Smash Bros. Switch. Have the trailers for the different games and then end it off with the character that will be in Super Smash Bros. Switch.
Be cool. Or you're saying that, I'm imagining they go onto that silhouette from the original Smash trailer, and each character they stop on to highlight, you see a game of theirs. Yeah, so, like, you go over to the Yoshi silhouette and it zooms in and you see Yoshi in Smash, and then it goes into, like, the Yoshi section. Or you see Marth and then it goes into the Fire Emblem section. Pikachu and it goes into a new Let's Go trailer.
Awesome.
That'd be
awesome.
I really like that. I would like that a lot.
But summing up, we need to move on because time is going really fast.
I wish we could talk about this for hours, but
obviously. But the way I see this with Fire Emblem is that it will be a fall game, either a holiday game or an October game. I think that they will try to have the graphics finally be the same as the cutscenes, so that you get that full anime experience throughout the game, not only in the bonding moments, but actually also when you are on the battlefield, because that's something that players have wanted for a very, very, very long time. So I feel this, even the battle scenes might be based on Japanese animation this time around.
Yeah. And my like biggest prediction about this game is it's gonna have co-op in some way. There's gonna be like co-op, like huge co-op maps.
I can see that.
So we are going to give 1 minute to Yoshi Switch.
That's all you need.
That's all we need. We have seen the game pretty much already, because at last E3 we didn't only get the gameplay trailer for it. We got the confirmation it's coming out in 2018, and then we got a 30-minute session at Treehouse. So I think we'll just get a trailer and the release date, probably August, and that's it.
I hope and pray the game is actually called Yoshi's Flippin' Island.
That'd be so awesome. Yeah.
But I think there's no way to have.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna have a bigger presence in the Treehouse probably than the event. They're like each day they're gonna show like one new world or something. Like I think that's what they did a few years ago when it was Yoshi's Woolly World during the Treehouse. So
I agree.
I mean, I think it's kind of like Kirby, where people aren't so excited about it, but then it comes out and then it sells 1 million units overnight. So it's kind of like one of those games.
I mean, Yoshi's Woolly World was freaking amazing. I expect this game to be also really good. It's just like, it's not going to have as much hype as Smash Bros, obviously, but it's still going to hold its own.
Yeah, I think people were annoyed with the initial trailer because they right before it was Metroid, but they didn't show anything. They said like in development, and then they went into, and then you actually saw this new Yoshi game, and people were annoyed that they didn't put the same time in for Metroid. So I think now like people will actually give it a fair shake.
Okay, and since we mentioned Metroid and the 1 minute has passed.
Wait. No, one thing about Yoshi though, real quick.
Okay.
Just yes or no question. Do you think we're going to see Labo stuff with this Yoshi game, considering the cardboard aesthetic? No. I'm saying yes. What do you guys
think? Yes.
No. They need to push that thing. They really need to push it.
3 yeses, 1 no. Let's continue. Okay.
So, since Metroid was brought up, I want to talk about Metroid, since we're pretty much out already of the 2018 games outside of Pokemon, but we'll take that at the end, obviously. So, Metroid Prime 4. Will we see a trailer, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to see a trailer. No gameplay, CG trailer, and it's going to be next year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the way
after
the only Metroid game that I see releasing this year is like an HD Metroid Prime trilogy. Potentially
Please, God, yes.
Oh man, don't get my hopes up, dude. I want there to be a Metroid Prime trilogy.
I mean, honestly, I don't see how you can't, because like a lot of people haven't played the original games, and there's really like the games on Wii are like $60, $70 now. Like it was really undershipped. So like you can't. Most people haven't played it, so I don't see how you can't release them to get people ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with Stella.
Okay,
you have to.
You have to. There's no other way.
The way
that's kind of like Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming before Bayonetta 3. It's the same thing.
Okay, the way I see this happening is very simple. We might zoom into the Samus silhouette in the Smash shadows, as Rogers mentioned. Then we'll get the trailer, which will mostly be showing off some CG stuff, maybe a little bit in-engine, maybe in-engine, actually, I think.
Maybe.
They could go with in-engine, and then they might tease one of the planets that will be in this game. I pretty much see this and the reveal trailer pretty much as Beyond Good and Evil 2 was at the Ubisoft conference last year.
Yes,
and then
I would love that.
We'll get, and then it will end at 2019. Boom! Everyone knows Metroid Prime 4 next.
Yeah.
And then right after it, we'll get the Metroid Prime trilogy. Relive the trilogy before you play.
Yeah.
As you should.
Exactly. And then end with Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. And that will be the game that will fill out that gap in October or December. That's how I see it.
And I will blast my vocal cords again like I did last year. Like, Metroid's my all-time favorite series. And you know what? As long as Metroid Prime Trilogy HD is coming out this year, you don't need to show me jack of Prime 4 this year. I don't encourage it. I feel like you should still. But at the same time, I'd be just as happy if they just...
They have to, but... they have to do it before they show Metroid Prime Trilogy, because it just,
of course,
it's like, okay, this is what you can look forward to, but before you do this, you should play through the trilogy, because the story and the characters are based on this, and that's how they also
3 games,
and that's also how they will push the trilogy sales-wise on the Switch.
Yeah. 3 games, $60, boom, worth it. Like, take my money, please.
Please don't sue us, BuzzFeed.
Oh man, I can't wait for Metroid this year.
Me
like
neither.
What it's going to be like at E3. Yeah,
it's not crazy too.
Year.
And I think
when you think of the release schedule for this year already, with Smash and Pokemon coming out, and then all the stuff that's already come out, and then you think about next year and what we already know now, where we know we're getting a new core Pokemon game in 2019,
and
we're getting Metroid,
3,
Bayonetta 3. Dude, Metroid, Bayonetta 3, and a Pokemon next year. We already have like a solid year next year now, too. When has this happened in recent Nintendo memory? It hasn't. The Switch is like a new era of Nintendo. It feels good to be a Nintendo fan again.
Exactly. They're really learning from the mistakes of Wii U. Like, seriously. I feel like they're starting this whole, hey, guys, why don't we give the fans what they want now? That's a good idea.
Yeah,
exactly.
And even though it's been teased on who's working on Metroid Prime 4, which I think everyone thinks it's Namco, I think we're going to get like some kind of confirmation this E3 on who's working on it.
Yes, and we'll get a subtitle.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 Devastation, Annihilation. I don't know.
Dread. They'll call it Dread.
Dread. What if?
That would be awesome. But the way I don't think this will be at the Treehouse at all, because the game is simply not ready for that type of stuff.
No, there won't be like a prolonged gameplay demo.
That will obviously be said for 2019. It's just a trailer. It's another tease to get us even more hyped. Just imagine the reaction we got of those few letters. Imagine getting a full CG trailer and then the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD announcement. That would just be wow. And
just knowing what Samus's armor is going to look like just gets me hyped.
I don't think that will be all for Metroid. Because I think that Samus will be getting the Metroid Prime 4 trailer, mostly because we'll get to see how Samus will look in Super Smash Bros. Switch. She will be based on the model from Metroid Prime 4, and we'll get a new amiibo based on Metroid Prime 4, an exclusive one.
Cool. You think that's going to be shown at E3?
I wouldn't see why wouldn't they? Because one, you confirm the character. Two, you showed the trailer for Metroid Prime 4, confirm it's coming in 2019, and three, we already have amiibos from Samus Returns. We have like the Other M amiibo, which is the current Smash amiibo. We need another amiibo for Samus, and it will be based on the Metroid Prime 4 model. I think that will be.
You said Metroid amiibo. Here is a prediction I have. Here's a very specific, weird prediction. You know how the Detective Pikachu amiibo is oversized? I think we're going to get an oversized Ridley amiibo if Ridley is playable in Smash Brothers.
He's too big.
That's my weird prediction. I think it's going to be like an oversized Ridley.
If you've ever been to like the Nintendo World Store in New York, they have like a $200 like Ridley statue.
Good Lord. I need to buy it.
I need to pick it up on the way back to Europe.
Seriously, we're going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
No one ever buys it. They just look at it and stare and dream.
Before we move on to the next game, I just want to know, a lot of people in the comments especially think that Metroid Prime 4 is an early 2019 game, and I'm just going to be safe and admit, no, it's not going to be early 2019.
It's holiday next year, dude.
It's holiday
next year.
Like, I see even Bayonetta 2 coming before Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I agree. I think the next Bayonetta is going to come.
Bayonetta 3, sorry.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I agree.
We do it.
Yeah.
We'll edit it out.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But actually, let's move on to the next game, Conrad. Is it what I think it is?
Yes, it is, and you can take it.
Bayonetta 3, baby. Finally getting the third installment. Loved Bayonetta 2. I enjoy Bayonetta 1, but are we going to see Bayonetta 3 in any way, shape, or form this E3 is the question.
That's a good question.
Because they showed Bayonetta 2. They showed Bayonetta 2 the year before.
I think it's too soon.
It came out before, so I feel like it's possible.
I feel it's
one thing you have. The one thing you really have to remember is they announced Bayonetta 3 during the Game Awards, and there's going to be some big reveal at the Game Awards. Whatever it is, could be Metroid. I think they hold something back for that. Like I don't think they show everything.
Yeah, but
I think honestly, I don't think Bayonetta, because I just don't think Bayonetta 3 is ready. I honestly think like they literally like signed the contract like around like the Game Awards last year.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think if we get anything for Bayonetta 3, it'll be a reminder that it's coming next year, like in a giant splash screen of like quick third-party announcements. But I don't think we're going to get a new trailer or anything. What I do think we're going to get from Platinum, though, is the announcement of a Wonderful 101 port to Switch.
That I agree.
Miya-san has been saying that for the past 3 months. He did a speech at the Game Developers Conference saying that he already told Nintendo he wants to do it. I think Nintendo probably, especially if Wonder Red or any of those characters are in Smash Brothers, will want to get that game out there again and remind people of the game. And so I think we're going to get almost assuredly a Wonderful 101 port announcement at this E3. It's going to be one of the smaller announcements coming from Nintendo directly, but that's my guess from Platinum.
Okay, we're almost done with the first-party IPs, but which games do you think will be revealed at E3 for the first time?
Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing. Please give us Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing would make me lose my mind because Animal Crossing, Metroid, and Smash are my 3 favorite franchises of all time. So I would absolutely love to see Animal Crossing, but I think they are going to save Animal Crossing, the more I think about this, for September or October for like a fall direct, and then give it its own direct in the spring and have it come out like in late spring, early summer next year. That's my guess for him. Because I don't think they want to have Animal Crossing overshadowed by like, Smash Brothers and Pokemon and all the other stuff that's going to be there at the show this year. So I feel, and Animal Crossing is also something that is not necessarily going to demo well unless they make it like super exciting or something. So I think save it, have a direct, bring it out, next year. Don't throw it in there right now. We have enough stuff to talk about anyway. But I would love that. I mean, I would lose my mind. I'm right there with you, Joey. But I just don't.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would love to see Animal Crossing too. I just don't think it's like the hype E3 game, I do think it's probably not going to be this year, and I don't know how many 2019 games they're actually going to show. So I don't know if that one's going to make it. I could see it being shown in like the Holiday Direct or like the January Direct for like summer 2019 potentially. I do think that we are going to get like a 2D Mario, whatever it is, announced, because like the 2D Mario team has been very, very quiet since Mario Maker.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I think.
Or
don't you think that's going to be for next year? Yeah, because I feel like Mario Maker, 2D Mario, that's a giant holiday thing.
Because what Nintendo loves to do. Yeah. What Nintendo loves to do is release Pokemon and 2D Mario on the same day.
Yeah, but what about 2D Zelda then?
I feel like that's probably coming down the line too. And even 2D Metroid, maybe the team that made Samus Returns eventually makes one. But I think for all of those, it's probably too early. I think if we get a Mario game this holiday, I think it'll be Mario Party. That's my prediction. We'll see a Mario Party.
I actually think it's too early for that, because we got one last year for 3DS. We just got one.
Well, that was for 3DS.
Yeah, well, that was just minigame. Those were just minigames. And it's obvious that for the Switch, they probably need to fix Mario Party, because the franchise has started really selling bad, because people have seen 1 installment, 2 installments, 3 installments not meeting their expectations. So I think they will try to probably reboot Mario Party and bring it back. Like, maybe they will
ignore the numbers completely. Mario
instead
Party.
of calling it Mario Party 11, they will probably just call it Mario Party 1 or Mario Party Switch. That's how I see it with Mario Party.
That could be cool. Yeah.
So and
then, like I said,
then obviously I feel that that game could be this year, but like I feel if it will be at E3, it needs to come this fall. That's how I see a Mario Party game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they don't even need to dedicate an entire month to releasing Mario Party. They could just release it like a week before a big game or something, because it's Mario Party.
Yeah,
that's true.
And normally, like, Nintendo has its presentation, then they launch the website, and usually there's like 1 or 2 games that they don't show that they announce. And I could see like some kind of Mario Party being that game. Like, they don't show it in the presentation, but it's on the website, and like journalists got to get all the media.
I agree. Okay. I think you brought up a really good point, though, Joey, which is that I think the other games they're going to focus on that are first-party games are going to be games that they could, like, they don't need to dedicate a month for. They could just release it at the same time as another big game. And so, really quickly, 2 very specific predictions. One, we now know that Grezzo is working on the Luigi's Mansion thing. It's not Next Level that's doing the remake for 3DS. So my guess and my prediction is that Next Level is actually working on a Punch-Out game that comes out this year. And I think that Punch-Out game is going to have a new Little Mac design that gets used in the new Smash Bros. But I think that's this year. I think that's something that's probably going to come in like October or November. And that's my prediction for what Next Level's been working on. And I also think, based on what the producer of Wave Race said a couple months ago, that we are going to get a Wave Race game announced during this too. And that might actually be something that they announce on the website later, that you just end up seeing like, oh, there's a Wave Race game coming later this year. They might not dedicate a lot of time to it, but I think we might actually see a Wave Race. And both Wave Race and Punch-Out just got their trademarks re-upped a couple weeks ago.
And I feel like especially Wave Race will be Labo compatible with the the motorbike cardboard.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just something there.
That is as made for that game.
Yeah.
Totally.
It totally is.
So,
same with the Excite Bike little expansion thing. I don't understand why they didn't just call that game Excite Bike, to be honest.
They should make, honestly, an Excite Bike like eShop title or something. That would be great.
Totally could.
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute without interruptions, please, because I want to bring up one thing that really made last year's Spotlight stand out, and those were those shock announcements, like the Metroid Prime 4, like the announcement that we're working on a core Pokemon RPG for Nintendo Switch, which we still don't know much about, except that it's coming next year. I think that announcement this year could be Pikmin 4.
You think so?
Okay.
And with they've been working on this game for a while. It could just trailer and then release date for this year or early next year, probably.
But that could be one of those bombshell announcements at E3 that just comes out of the blue. People will just like lose their shit and so on, and then that will be the way to get Miyamoto to be at the treehouse.
Yeah, I don't see people necessarily losing their shit. over
Yeah,
Pikmin 4.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It would be an exciting announcement.
Unless your name is Josh Thomas, I don't think anybody's going to be completely blown away by it.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no, I could definitely see it happening because people have been waiting for Pikmin 4 for such a long time. And it would just be a good announcement to have Miyamoto say it's coming. And then you will have the new character in the Pikmin 4 game take the slot of the Pikmin or be a new skin in Smash. Again.
I actually think Animal Crossing would probably be the lose the shit game if people saw it.
I agree. Yeah.
Because like I'm pretty sure like if you just look on Twitter or that's like the most requested Nintendo game now. Like once Metroid was announced, it shifted to Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You even have like Chrissy Teigen making tweets about it saying, make a new Animal Crossing. The one for mobile's garbage. So like, when you have mainstream celebrities.
Seriously. And when you got those two people in the corner like, F-Zero, please. No? Okay.
No, it's not going to happen. Not.
Hey, maybe not F-Zero, but maybe we'll get Star Fox Grand Prix. No.
Okay. Let's wait
for the
leaks a little bit longer because I just want to get through everything else so that people can stay leak-free until E3 because...
Leak 3 until that's a good slogan.
There's just been so much leaks in advance, and I want to bring up one last thing before we move into leak territory, and that is it's Ocarina of Time's 20th anniversary this year. Could we see something? Because hardware reveals are, I think it's too soon to get any Switch hardware reveals, but perhaps the Nintendo 64 Mini could this time around be announced at E3 just because of the 20th anniversary?
Not at E3.
No, not at
E3.
An
E3 announcement. The SNES Classic was announced like 2 weeks after E3 last year. This is definitely like we're just gonna send you a press release. Come on, guys!
It's the 20th anniversary of one of the biggest games in Nintendo history, Ocarina of Time.
I'm very disappointed in you, Commonwealth, because you're not bringing up something that was just announced last week, which is the new special edition Hylian Shield 3DS. That's coming out later this year. I think that is going to be the Zelda Ocarina of Time 20th anniversary thing. I certainly do not expect a new Zelda this year or anything like that.
No.
Yeah, I think wanting an HD Ocarina of Time remake is stretching it really much.
I think people were pretty satisfied with the 3DS game, with the 3DS one that came out in 2013. I don't think people are clamoring for an HD version of that game right now.
Okay, so like the way I see this is that maybe they could reference it because it was such a huge landmark game and it's gotten so many different re-releases, ports, remakes, and so on. So maybe something regarding Ocarina of Time, because I don't think they could go through this entire E3 without bringing up Zelda only in Smash. I think they need something.
Well, I mean, they could do like an Ocarina of Time stage in Smash Brothers to commemorate it. They could do like gold Joy-Cons. I just don't think it's going to be a game. I think I don't even think we're going to get like new DLC for Breath of the Wild. They already said that's done. And we didn't even talk about DLC yet for
I don't think every anniversary has to coincide with the release of something.
I don't think Nintendo really cares that much about anniversaries. Like they didn't launch Breath of the Wild.
They only care about anniversaries.
They did it for remakes. They did it for remakes. Look at Wind Waker HD. Look at Twilight Princess HD. Those were anniversaries. So
Wind Waker HD didn't wait. No, Wind Waker 1 came out like 2002, and Wind Waker HD came out in 2013.
Yeah. So, and if I remember correctly, too, I'm pretty sure all four of us were part of a live stream a couple months ago where it was confirmed that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is actually a better game than Ocarina of Time.
Well,
kick him, Conrad. Kick him out.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed, actually.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed. I'm pretty sure voted. And the chat ended up overturning the results.
Go to Metacritic and Game Rankings, and they will tell something else.
20 years from now, people are going to be like, "What's a Xenoblade?"
I'm just trolling.
Of course.
No, me too. It's good. Okay, it's all in good
fun. I think we could get something Zelda because it's just too big of a franchise. If they announce something Mario, they have to announce something Zelda as well.
I do want a 2D Zelda, that's for sure. Maybe not this year, but eventually,
But next year, yeah.
They've been pretty clear that like 3DS is really not going to be too much a part of E3, and I do want to believe that they're doing like a Link's Awakening 3D, where it would be like on 3DS and Switch. I'm just not sure if they would reveal that at E3. I don't know, but I would go crazy for that.
I would sooner see Skyward Sword HD on the Switch before any of those Link's Awakening, because there's just too much work with an Ocarina of Time HD and Link's Awakening remake. I just feel that the Switch is perfect for a Skyward Sword HD remake because, one, Joy-Cons are essentially like Wiimotes, but much better. And it's a perfect way to make this beautiful game shine in full HD. So that's how I see it. If they could announce maybe Skyward Sword HD, but that is again more of a direct announcement.
It is. Unlike the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, please be at E3.
Yeah,
please.
Please be at E3. I hope Stealth is right.
Exactly.
Really
I mean, I can see that like they're going to announce like one game a day at the Treehouse. I can see that being one.
Okay, so just a quick round about which Wii U ports do you think will be announced in this E3? At this E3.
How many do we have left? We only have like 5 Wii U games left.
I think Wonderful 101, Wonderful 101 is a given. I think Xenoblade X they're going to save till next year, or they're going to release it in December along with Fire Emblem to remind people of Elma if she gets in Smash Brothers. And beyond that, and the other ones that we already know about, I don't think we're getting any more.
Yeah, I think there's 2 very likely ones. I agree with Roger about Xenoblade X. That's going to be saved till next year. I think they're going to do New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do Pikmin 3. I don't think they're going to do Tokyo Mirage Sessions, even though I would die for that. And there's really not much else left.
Well, you have Super Mario Maker.
There's Mario Maker. I think either or. Either it's going to be New Super Mario Brothers or it's going to be Mario Maker. I honestly think Mario Maker is going to get a sequel. Like I just don't think that's going to. I don't think that's going to be deluxe. But there's not.
How could you have
left.
a sequel? How could you have a sequel? It would have to be a 3D Mario Maker.
No, you can very easily. No,
that's not true.
You could add like a couple more art styles, add like 100 more enemies. You could make it like this giant expansion pack
and
thing.
Mario Odyssey.
Add slopes.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Co-op, especially. You get co-op.
Mario Land, they could do like a Mario Land look for some of the stages. Yeah. They could do a whole bunch of different art styles. It'd be great. Yeah.
Exactly. It would be better to market it as a sequel.
And obviously,
they could even do like a new HD engine instead of like just the new Super Mario Brothers art style that would then tease whatever the next 2D Mario.
And I feel like you'd actually be able to create like a game and then upload it and have people play the game.
I feel like
instead of like individual levels.
I feel like we'll see some Super Mario Odyssey integration into this new Mario Maker, if that's the case, because we had the 2D sections.
It's possible.
I feel like that will be a heavy emphasis.
I like that.
It's like having Odyssey templates. That would be awesome.
It would be.
Like, say that they added make your own New Donk City Festival stage. That would be awesome.
Great, yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
And one that I would love to see is Super Mario 3D World. I would love that to come.
Oh yeah, naturally.
I would love that too.
Yeah.
But then again, since we're talking about Mario and Zelda, what about the Zelda Maker?
Not this
I don't know.
You don't think so?
Not this year.
Not this year.
Honestly, I don't think people really care that much to create their own Zelda dungeons.
I know I don't.
I disagree after Breath of the Wild. Most people want to have...
I agree. Because at the GDC conference where they showed off the physics engine for Breath of the Wild,
exactly,
for the first time, it looked a lot like a Zelda Maker. And it seems like something that they would just easily be like, let's give these tools to everybody. Yeah, it'd be perfect. Yeah.
I think the reason why like Mario Maker kind of went viral on YouTube is because like of the Kaizo Mario aspect of it, where you can just create like super hard levels. I just don't think anyone's gonna want to I don't know if they're gonna give you the tools to make like a Kaizo Zelda dungeon.
No. They did the same thing with Super Mario Maker. It's just like you play the stages you want and then you give the review afterwards. So people that will be dicks on purpose will just not be highlighted. It's that simple. And the dungeons that will actually be on the level of the development team of the Zelda dungeon makers. They will be on the top, obviously, and then you'll have the musical dungeons or whatever, just like the musical stages in Super Mario Maker, because everyone plays through those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that
should we get into leak territory?
Yeah, no, I think like that sums up pretty much first parties. I think we'll just go quickly over Pokemon because do you think we could see another trailer for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, more gameplay than like live action like the last trailer.
Yeah, for sure it's gonna be at the Treehouse, and they're gonna demo it, and then people are gonna love it. So
I agree.
Of course.
Yeah,
bring the Game Freak team and and someone just explaining the transition from the 3DS to the Switch, and then talk maybe a little bit about the core Pokemon RPG coming next year.
Yeah, because it was revealed in Japan, but like even though we got some press releases in the US, like I don't feel like it was officially revealed for the US yet, and I feel like they're definitely gonna do that at E3.
And if they do that at E3, I could see them showing off like a really iconic area in HD for the first time. Something like Viridian Forest or Vermilion City or Saffron City. And you just walk through and you get to see it in HD and you're like, oh my God, it's all the things that I loved growing up. So I could see them doing something like that for a Treehouse.
Yeah, but like I heard, like I've seen people saying, oh, they're definitely going to show the 2019 game. No, they aren't going to show that.
No way.
No way.
No way now.
You know when we're going to see the 2019 game? A week before E3 next year.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And the reason is very simple. Game Freak loves to have control over their IP.
Yes.
They decide what they want to show, not Nintendo. Nintendo just they can ask and beg as much as they want, but at the end of the day, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak say, no, we want to control this reveal. We did this with Let's Go Pikachu. We did the same thing with Ultra Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon. And
I mean, if it was up to Nintendo, they would have made that like that Tokyo
please
event like a direct.
Every time I talk, please. I just need to get my point across now. Sorry.
Calm down.
I just have to. I just have to say this now. Sorry. Like the way
angry.
No, I'm not getting angry. It's just that this will be.
Keep talking.
It will be a nice Metro edit afterwards. That's what I
yeah, for sure.
So the thing is that I see us getting another trailer for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And then I think we'll, and that will be, as you mentioned, during the Treehouse. And then they will talk, probably the Treehouse team will ask about this core RPG game coming next year. They will say that it's been in development, maybe since when it's been in development, and that you can expect it next year. That's what I think we'll be getting in terms of the core RPG. And then everything else will be focused on Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And then we will get the announcement at E3 for the amiibos for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That's what I think will happen.
Of course.
Cool.
Okay, time for leaks, guys. You have had over an hour to listen to other stuff. So if you don't want to hear about leaks, we'll give you 30 seconds right now. We'll drink a little bit of water in the meanwhile. And when we're done drinking, we are starting to talk leaks. So
all right.
Bye-bye to you who don't want to get leaked or spoiled for E3.
Most of you have probably already heard this stuff anyway.
And since Stealth has a lot of information, you can make the introduction for this one. In 10, 5,
9, 8.
And go, Stealth. Talk about, let's begin with Retro Studios. What are they working on for this E3?
Well, the rumor is that they're definitely working on a Star Fox racing game called Star Fox Grand Prix, as Roger alluded to. Will we see it at E3? I don't know. It's possible, but again, like they're gonna save something for the Game Awards, and that seems like a perfect Game Awards game for me. So I'm gonna say that they save it for that. And then of course, like the big leak that happened last night with Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Fortnite and Overcooked 2, that I think is real. I don't think it's everything, but it's not everything, but have it on good authority that Overcooked 2 was at the judges event last week. So
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's definitely real. Don't know if it's exclusive to Switch or anything like that, but that would be a huge get if that was like even like timed exclusive to Switch.
Talking about retro, I feel like personally I'm very disappointed if the project they work on is Star Fox Racing. Because we need to remember, retro is not rare. They're not able to put out a new game every year. And that's why Diddy Kong Racing worked. That's why Jet Force Gemini worked. It's because it was one of many games, or actually one of multiple games launched in the same year. That's why it works so well for Rare. While Retro is putting out, on average, a game every 4 or 3 years. It's very close to the Zelda team. And if this potential has been in many ways wasted on a Star Fox racing game, a spin-off game, then I will be kind of furious, to be honest.
Me too. I'm already furious.
I don't see that as potential wasted, though. I see that as
I don't either.
I see that as making a great Star Fox game for like the first time in a very, very long time.
Completely.
And like bringing that franchise to where it should be.
You saying that, though, and also the reaction of both the guys from Commonwealth leads me to believe that this is also not going to be at E3. I think they don't want that messaging. They want to find a time to reveal this, to actually show to people this will be good, as opposed to throwing that in there to basically get like eaten up by all these fans who are going to be like, what the heck are you doing to Star Fox? Like, I love Smash. I love all this other stuff.
And what the hell are you doing to Retro?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be at E3. I also agree with Stealth. I think that is a 2019 game. I think we're going to maybe see it at the Game Awards. I do not even think we're going to see it anytime this year. Maybe at earliest, like a direct near the end.
I mean, it could be like it could be like a behind closed door game for journalists and media. Yeah, but maybe. It's not going to be at the direct. But I mean, having Retro work on Star Fox, it's just crazy to think about. That, you know, it's going to elevate that franchise to a level where, you know, it's a joke now.
I also don't even think that would be a behind the closed doors kind of game, though, because this year they're handling E3 way differently. Like the way you have appointments and the way you're playing certain games for people who are just on the show floor. I really think that's going to be something they are going to completely hold close to their chest until late in the year or early next year. I firmly believe that.
They need to convince me why a racing game is worth waiting for maybe 5 years for.
Well, the way I see it could be worth it is if it's a combination of a Star Fox combat gameplay style fused with F-Zero. That would really sell a lot of people. That would give them, one, an excuse to not make an F-Zero game, because we know it will not sell. And two, it will be a revival of the true Star Fox gameplay that we all know and love, namely the on-rails gameplay style. And that is pretty much what you will have if you go for an F-Zero. But F-Zero, imagine the carnage with F-Zero, but where you can shoot your opponents.
I mean, I also feel like I agree with you that it's easier to sell a Star Fox racing game than it is to sell an F-Zero game. And I do think character-wise, there's a lot more characters to pull from a Star Fox than there would be for an F-Zero. F-Zero has always had those weird, bizarre aliens and stuff, which I like. I mean, I like F-Zero. That's fine. But I also feel like if you're going to try to sell it to a mainstream audience, Star Fox is maybe your best in, and then maybe throw in like Samus or Captain Falcon or Donkey Kong or something as like a guest character in it. But I don't think they're going to end up doing like a new F-Zero, even with the trademark stuff. I think Captain Falcon is squarely in the Smash Brothers territory now. I think F-Zero as a franchise is honestly more tied to Smash Brothers now than it is to its own individual franchise, which I think is fine.
Yeah,
Captain Falcon is basically the mascot of Smash Brothers, and that's totally okay. I think that's great.
Yeah, I feel that there's no problem with this. And at the end of the day, we'll probably have two racing IPs from Nintendo. It will be Mario Kart or eventually maybe Smash Kart, because that's what they're building up to. Then again, I think that will be a 2019 reveal. I don't see this happening this year. And then you will have the Star Fox Racing, if, of course, the rumor is true.
Yeah. I like that all four of us are in agreement that this is a 2019 game, and then this is not something, because I've seen so many people like, this is going to be a big E3 reveal. I'm like, no way.
No, 2018 is already way too busy, and if you also have these third-party games, you need 1 month for the third parties. Like we had November last year, they will need a month for them, and maybe that is August. I feel like that's partially also July and late June, because we have Crash, we have Octopath Traveler. And speaking of the RPG again, I don't think we'll see anything from Monolith Soft this year. It's too soon for their new project.
Way too soon.
They've already shown concept art from it, so they don't really need to show anything else.
I agree.
Yeah, I think they're in like full dev mode right now. I don't think they're even going to show up.
Exactly.
I also think if we're going to see anything from Monolith Soft, it'll probably be a port of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I really truly feel like we will get a port of that game.
And that's another Wii U port.
In Smash. Right, but again, I don't think it's going to be something that's like really going to be focused on for them. I think this is because Monolith Soft has been working in the background on a lot of big first-party games that people like don't really know about, but like they were working on Splatoon, they worked on Smash 4, they worked on Skyward Sword, they worked on Breath of the Wild. Like they have had a lot of hands in those pots, and I feel like this year for Monolith Soft, they're going to be dedicated to working on Smash Brothers. That's my guess. I think they're going to be doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for Smash, and also maybe some cleanup stuff for Splatoon 2, now that we're getting all that new DLC. So I agree. I don't think we're seeing anything from them this year. I think their big debut developed game is going to be next year. Or seen next year, maybe not even released next year.
Exactly, and then again, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just came out half a year ago, so it's way too soon for anything new. They have DLC to get out.
I mean, well, that we might see is like the story DLC for Xenoblade 2. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I would love to see that.
And then we have the Octo expansion, which needs. We still don't have a release date, I think, for that. But then again, that is like a Splatoon 2 World Championships announcement.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the leak portion, right, of the discussion?
Yeah. This is the leak portion.
Since we're talking about it, I mean, like that data mine that came out about the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 story DLC being like all the characters you're back in the past, that it's like a completely new story. It's tied to the main character story, but it doesn't have Rex and Pyra as the main characters. I think that would be really interesting to see a full trailer for and a full reveal for. But that also feels like something that maybe they'll save for a direct later on down the line, and they don't want it to be completely overshadowed by the stuff at the C3. Especially if it's coming out in December or whenever they said it's coming out. So
December.
Yeah, December. So it'd be weird to like show that off now.
Exactly.
It would be.
But I do think like part of that leak was like having Shulk as a blade. Like revealing that would be a very hype moment.
I know. I know.
So
please.
I know.
God, yes.
I know. Okay, I think this sums up pretty much first party, but I want to bring... I'm probably going to edit this back into the Pokemon section, but I think we'll see a Pokemon bundle that is themed on Pokeball. Maybe at E3, maybe later, but I think
later.
They need a Pokemon Let's Go and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee bundle.
They will. I think that's going to be later in the year, though. I don't think that's an E3 announcement.
September 20th.
Yes.
I was thinking in my head what the two Joy-Cons would be for it, the colors. And at first it's like,
Pikachu.
Red and white for Pokeballs would be cool. But oh my God, if we get Pikachu yellow and Eevee brown, and you have pee and poop styled Joy-Cons, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
I do not want them to do that at all. Please do not do yellow and brown Joy-Cons.
I think that usually
you have the main colors is brown and black for both characters, and you have the buttons that are already black.
Okay, so they could. Yeah, but that'd be weird.
That'd be weird.
I know.
I don't want to see it.
You what happens normally is Nintendo will have a press release like a week before Black Friday, and they'll announce like 4 or 5 brand new bundles. I think they'll do that there, and that'll create like a huge frenzy.
Yeah, or just a Pikachu-themed Switch controller or Pro controller or whatever.
Something like that.
Okay.
I mean, Eevee could be green. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm so glad we have gotten that out. Okay, let's continue with the leaks, because the rest of the leaks are pretty much third parties.
Yeah.
So, Stolf, you had a list of games posted on Twitter when it came to third parties, because we have already talked about Fortnite. That game would work perfectly with the Switch, because bringing the Fortnite experience on the go is something that everyone, I think, dreams at this point. And the same goes with Paladins, which has also been mentioned, since we don't have Overwatch. So what other games are rumored to be leaked? Because it's mostly third-party games that are coming to the Switch.
I think probably the other biggest one on this list is Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's been rumored to be coming to Switch for a long time. Arc System Works has announced they released over 10 games on Switch already. They're a huge Switch supporter. Everything new after Dragon Ball FighterZ is on Switch. So for me, it was only a matter of time. And like every question the developers were getting is, when is this game coming on Switch? When is this game coming on Switch? And so I think that's a shoo-in for release on Switch. The other games on the list are Monster Hunter, that was already announced. And then, like, I had to get this explained to me. There's this game called Killer Queen Black, and apparently it's this, like, there's arcade cabinets in, like, different cities, and it's big. Yeah.
It's really fun. So I actually had the opportunity to play this about a month ago because I was in Chicago for ASEN, and it was just random that this happened to show up in this leak list because I had just tried it out. It is really, really fun. It's like a mix of Joust 5v5. I don't really know the best way to explain it, and because it's arcade cabinets, there's not really like a lot of good footage online either. But it is a perfect Switch game. Like, hearing that this is coming to Switch is an awesome get for them, both for like the indie developers. I think this is a great get, and also I just think it is an awesome multiplayer game, and I think this is going to do really, really well for them. So good on the Killer Queen team, and the Killer Queen team's Twitter all is black now. Their headline and also their profile photo is completely black. So if that's not a tease for this, then I don't know what is.
Okay. Yeah. I also heard about that Bethesda and Rockstar might be bringing another game to the Switch.
Rockstar too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to Switch. I mean, it's on PS3 and Xbox 360, so I don't see why I can't. Yeah. And it's still selling like crazy. And also on this list was...
It mostly makes sense because the Switch will obviously not get Red Dead Redemption 2.
No.
Right.
No. And in terms of Bethesda, I can see Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 coming to the Switch. They just announced like Fallout 76, and that seems like it's going to be like more like online survival. That wasn't announced for Switch. So I can see an older game getting announced from them.
Of course.
Yeah, but what was interesting is like the last like 5 like EA Sports games like Madden have not been announced for Switch. This list has FIFA 2019, so that's actually nice to see.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then like a really underrated game, but like it sold over 500,000 copies on Switch, is Overcooked 2. Yeah.
You know, I loved Overcooked. I played it with my friends. That game is just so fun and hectic. Yeah. And I what are they even going to do with 2? They're just going to create more insane levels and more insane characters. So hell yeah, it's probably going to cost like $20. Yeah. So give it to me.
And for that to sell 500,000 units on Switch that far after it was released on like every other platform.
Yep.
Like people are hungry for that on Switch.
Literally,
no pun intended.
Literally, no pun intended.
I was gonna say too, that game has done really well in Japan, oddly enough, as well. In terms of the Western indie games, like that game did really well, and so did Stardew Valley. So I wouldn't be surprised to also see the announcement of the Stardew Valley multiplayer stuff that's on PC coming to Switch.
And one thing I've talked about that I think is really, really likely is Capcom will announce the Ace Attorney collections.
Oh yeah.
For Switch this year.
Didn't they already announce that they're working on Ace Attorney for Switch? That's been announced already. So,
they announced that they're working on new games, but I think they're going to bring collections to Switch to kind of get people ready for that.
Cool.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that pretty much sums everything up. I don't think there's much more. I feel like Fortnite will be the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you had one thing. Yeah, like Fortnite will be the big, let's say, Rocket League announcement. From a third party / indie, because we have the Epic Games making Unreal Engine 4, and they have been working very closely with Nintendo, and they will make a big point of it, of the cooperation, and of course of the success of Fortnite. And it's finally coming to the Switch, so it will be in HD and running properly on a handheld device. So they will make a big point of it.
And I feel like that would be another good game to sell Nintendo Switch Online, which is I feel like it'd be more likely than Smash Bros. To release day and date with Switch Online, because like Stealth said, Sakurai wants to work as long as he can on Smash Bros. And like even if that means waiting until October for it, I feel like Fortnite's another good substitute because people love Fortnite. I have friends that play Fortnite on PC and PS4. They also own Switches. They're like, dude, I'd love to play Fortnite.
And also with the online, like right before the online launches, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is coming to Switch.
Which is awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's like the big online game.
So good.
Yeah.
Getting Monster Hunter, Dragon Ball, Fortnite, Killer Queen is just like an awesome get, a sequel to Overcooked 2. We already know we're getting the World Ends With You HD remix coming this year too, which like, I don't know about you guys, that's one of my all-time favorite games. And so to see that in HD
for that.
with a new week's worth of content, my dude.
I know.
We didn't even talk about Square.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up, is I think World Ends With You is a given. We're going to see more content from them, probably during their press conference. I think we're going to see a lot of Project Octopath as well because it's coming out in July. So I think we'll see another trailer with those characters. And I've been saying this for E3s now, and I truly feel like it is time. If it doesn't happen this year, it's not happening. Final Fantasy 15 on Switch. I feel very strongly that game is still coming to Switch because of everything that they set up, whether it's the original version of the game or they're going to end up bringing out like that mobile version. Some version of Final Fantasy 15 is coming on Switch, and I think it's coming this year.
It might, like I think that could be a part of the big third-party month, and I think we'll have more of those on the Switch because that's the way you will sell third parties, and that's also how you will push indie games like Travis Strikes Again, which might also get another trailer at in the Nintendo Spotlight Direct presentation, whatever they will call it, at the end. Like another question is Kingdom Hearts 3. Could that? Nope.
Not now. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe, but not now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Final Fantasy 15 is going to come, but I just have this strong something Final Fantasy is coming to Switch. I don't know what it is. Could be like a port of like Final Fantasy like 10 or 12 that came, but they're just going to get Final Fantasy on the Switch somehow.
I agree, dude. If we get, oh my god, if we get a new Crystal Chronicles, Crystal Chronicles is one of my favorite games of all time. If we get a new Crystal Chronicles game on Switch.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Roger.
Bye, Roger.
Please give us a new Crystal Chronicles. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
One other thing, too, going back to the games we talked about earlier, like Fortnite, I'm going to make another bold prediction. Here's my prediction. I was going to save this for the Game Explain discussion, but I'm going to say it here. I had the opportunity of going to South by Southwest earlier this year with Alienware. And one of the other Alienware ambassadors is this guy named Nico, who is a huge Fortnite player. While we were at South by Southwest, they announced and dropped Fortnite for mobile, where you could play it on your phone. I think that we are going to get Fortnite during E3. I think it is going to release after the Direct, and I think it's going to come out right away because that's what they did with mobile. I think they're going to do it again with Switch. And I think the way they're going to tie it in with the online stuff, maybe later down the line, is they'll release free DLC updates of like Nintendo skins for certain characters. That's my guess. But I think day and date E3, when they announce Fortnite, it's going to come on Switch.
Oh, actually, with Fortnite, I think they could even put Mario Breath of the Wild link because we have Thanos. We had Thanos. But
I think there's going to be at least one of those where it's like it just the game just drops.
Yes. And a good reason for it is that I think Switch players have waited long enough for Fortnite to come to Nintendo Switch. So it's just like, okay, here's this one game that is coming out right after this event. And then it's the big question, how much will it cost?
Nothing.
I think it'll be free for Battle Royale, and then if you want to get all the extra stuff, you just buy it like the other platforms.
Okay.
So
absolutely.
That's very good.
Okay. I just got to give a shout out to Paladins for jumping in on the one console that doesn't have Overwatch.
There you go.
Seize your moment. That's what Ernesto de la Cruz said.
Well, so overall, we can say that the video presentation will be even more impressive than last year, this time around. Because it's so packed already. And it's just like we need information about games coming this year that we already know about. We are going to get new announcements. We're getting all these indies and third-party games coming to the Nintendo Switch. And obviously, we have the whole Smash Armageddon that will take place at this E3.
We're just going to call it that until the title's revealed. Smash Armageddon.
I'm just surprised nobody called on Joey when he said the Ernesto de la Cruz thing. So are you implying that Paladins is actually poisoning Overwatch's wine?
Exactly.
That Overwatch was going to switch, but Paladins poisoned it?
Exactly. Poison!
Yeah.
Great. Coco reference. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's on Netflix now. It's great.
Exactly. Okay, I think this sums it up pretty much. We have been talking for close to 1.5 hours here. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed this. The last half an hour was a ton of leaks and spoilers. If it might happen, it might not happen, obviously. But anyways, thank you so much for joining in. I want to thank, obviously, Roger from Rogersbase for taking the time out of his busy One Piece and Nintendo schedule to have time to sit down with us and predict E3. Stealth, who is has an excellent Twitter when it comes to Nintendo news, but say the gaming industry in general when it comes to both leaks and news.
Oh yeah, I've been following Stealth since before I even joined this channel, so it's great to have you on, man.
So you can take and tell a little bit about you and about your channels. We can begin with you, Roger.
Sure. I mean, you could find me at Rogersbase on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on Instagram. I will be live streaming all of the E3 conferences, not just the Nintendo ones, and uploading my live reactions as videos right afterwards as well. I have a whole setup I've been working out in the background for this, and so I've been literally prepping for this E3. So if you're excited for E3 live reactions, make sure to go subscribe to me. And thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
And Stealth?
Well, everyone knows me from my Twitter channel, but my Twitter account, I should say. I talk about Nintendo news. I talk about RPGs. I talk about leaks. I talk about a lot of things. I will be live tweeting. I'm not going to be at E3 like Roger. I wish I was, but I will be around. I will be tweeting about all the big news, and I'm just very excited for E3. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, me too.
And until then, it was Conrad and Joseph, and of course, we will also be at E3, so we'll be seeing each other in a little over a week.
It's gonna be fun.
It's quite insane to think that in the moment I'm like half a globe away from you guys, and in a week we'll be essentially together. So
in the same goal,
I'm sure we'll be at some of the same parties. I would be shocked if we are not.
Oh yeah, I think so as well. And we have an apartment 5 minutes from the convention center. So if you want a break, just come by, Roger. So it's in between actually the Belasco Theater and the convention center.
Oh, cool.
So it's actually
I live here, so I'm just gonna drive down there.
I know.
But
I know. So that's essentially it. Okay, guys. So the video, this discussion will be edited up into 2 videos because it's freaking long.
As they usually are.
Yeah, and then we'll edit it in our typical Commonwealth style. We'll probably be up on Tuesday and Thursday next week. So we'll have 2 prediction videos, and then we'll also have a special E3 style documentary style video on Sunday. That is June 10th. So thank you so much to Roger once again, to Stealth, to Joseph, who needs to get going on to work.
I got no work.
And so until the next video, which is Metroid Prime 4. This was Conrad of the Commonwealth Realm.
And Joseph of the Commonwealth Realm.
And Roger and Stealth. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.